We live in an age of infinite options. One swipe, and we're exposed to hundreds of possibilities. What to eat, who to love, which path to follow. But with abundance comes anxiety. Overthinking is no longer a habit. It's a cultural epidemic. We don't live in the moment anymore. We analyze it to death before it even happens. The Stoics saw this coming centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." They understood that excessive thinking is not wisdom. It's fear wearing a clever mask. It's the mind trying to control what it cannot. Overthinking is our brain's attempt to solve problems that don't exist yet. It creates imaginary scenarios, fake dangers, and drama that lives only in our heads. And the worst part? It paralyzes us. We stop living. We become spectators in our own lives, too afraid to take the next step. The core of overthinking is simple. The illusion that if we just think enough, we'll gain control. That if we analyze something from every angle, we can guarantee the perfect outcome. But life doesn't work like that. Life is chaos wrapped in mystery. It's beautifully unpredictable. Stoicism teaches us that control is a trap. Epictetus reminds us, some things are up to us, and some things are not. Worrying about the things beyond our control is like screaming at the sky to stop raining. It only drains your energy and changes nothing. Acceptance, not control, is the path to peace. When we stop obsessing over what we can't control, we free up mental space for what truly matters: our actions, our choices, and our mindset. The Stoic doesn't aim to control life, they aim to control themselves within life. That is where true power lies. Here's the mind trap. You think because you're overthinking, you're being deep. But thinking and wisdom are not the same. Thoughts are like clouds, shifting, temporary, often disconnected from truth. Just because a thought exists doesn't mean it deserves your attention. Stoicism teaches detachment from thoughts. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it, said Epictetus. You don't need to argue with your mind or fix every thought. You just need to observe them without attaching your identity. You're not the storm, you're the sky behind it. The moment you realize you're not your thoughts, you take the first step toward inner freedom. You don't need to silence the noise, you just need to stop dancing to its rhythm. Overthinking loses its power when you stop treating it like a command and start seeing it as just background static. Thinking won't save you, only doing will. The Stoics believed that virtue lies in action, not contemplation. You don't find clarity by sitting in your room overanalyzing. You find it by engaging with life, even if you're unsure or scared. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The cure to overthinking isn't more thinking, it's movement. Call the person, take the step, write the page. Life favors the bold, not the overly prepared. Action creates momentum. It builds confidence. It replaces fear with experience. Once you start acting, your mind stops looping the same questions. Clarity comes through the doing, not the doubting. The Stoic life is a life of deliberate, purposeful action, not endless analysis. Overthinking is time travel. Your mind lives in the future, replaying the past, but never landing on now. And the now is all you ever really have. This moment, this breath, is where life happens. Everything else is just noise. The Stoics were masters of presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Why? Because the present is the only place you can act, grow, and live. The past is unchangeable. The future is unknowable. Only this moment is yours to command. Living in the present isn't passive. It's powerful. It means showing up for your life fully, instead of watching it from a distance. It means choosing to feel, to move, to love. Not perfectly, but completely. That's the Stoic way. Live now and let the rest go. One of the greatest myths is that we need clarity before we can move. But the truth is, we gain clarity by moving. Stoicism teaches us that courage often comes before understanding. We don't wait for the fear to go away, we move through it. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Clarity in Stoicism comes from aligning action with values, not emotions or doubts. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know what matters. Choose courage over perfection. Choose presence over prediction. Choose to act, not to wait. That's how you stop overthinking and start living. Not by thinking your way to peace, but by living your way into it. The Stoic path is not about having no fear, but about fearing less and doing more. We crave certainty like a drug. We want to know how it will turn out, who will stay, what will happen next. This obsession drives us to overthink every word, every silence, every possible outcome. But life laughs at certainty. It unfolds in surprises. It blooms in the unexpected. The truth is, the more we chase guarantees, the more we suffer. The Stoics embraced the chaos of uncertainty. They didn't demand answers. They trained for resilience. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And what is one of the biggest wastes of life? Trying to control the uncontrollable, to predict the unpredictable. Accepting uncertainty is not giving up. It's waking up. When we release the need to be sure, we start to breathe again. We begin to live not with tight fists, but with open hands. Overthinking dies in the space where we stop demanding a perfect future and start trusting ourselves to handle whatever comes. The Stoic doesn't say, "I must know." The Stoic says, "Whatever happens, I will be ready." Most people try to escape fear by avoiding it. But the Stoics did the opposite. They looked fear in the eye and made peace with it. They practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds dark, but it's one of the most powerful mental tools ever created. Why? Because imagining what could go wrong prepares your mind to stay calm when it actually does. Seneca advised, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." By visualizing loss, failure, even death, not to dwell, but to prepare, we reduce the emotional shock when life doesn't go our way. It's not pessimism. It's armor for the soul. If you've already imagined losing something, you're less afraid of actually losing it. Fear shrinks when faced directly. Negative visualization doesn't make you cold. It makes you present. When you picture losing your health, your job, your loved ones, something shifts. You begin to appreciate them more. You stop taking life for granted. Overthinking fades because you've already faced the worst in your mind, and you survived. That's not fear. That's freedom. Much of our overthinking isn't about life. It's about people. What did they mean by that message? Do they still care? Did I say the wrong thing? We carry invisible conversations in our heads, replaying every interaction like a courtroom drama. But the Stoics remind us, you do not control what others think. You only control how you respond. Epictetus said it clearly. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Other people's judgments, silence, or approval are outside your control. When you attach your peace of mind to their opinions, you become a puppet, dancing to a tune you didn't compose. That's not love. That's bondage. The moment you stop trying to manage how others see you, you begin to reclaim your freedom. You start showing up as yourself, unpolished, honest, alive. Overthinking disappears when you accept this truth. Not everyone will like you, understand you, or stay. And that's okay. The Stoic doesn't seek to please everyone. They seek to live with integrity, regardless of who's watching. Failure. The word itself triggers a storm in our minds. Shame, regret, fear. It's one of the biggest sources of overthinking. What if I fail? So we stall, we freeze, we imagine every worst-case scenario until action becomes impossible. But here's the Stoic truth. Failure is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's not the end. It's the process. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." To the Stoic, failure isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal to grow. It's feedback from reality. It shows you what works, what doesn't, and who you are in discomfort. Failure doesn't break you. Resisting it does. When you stop seeing failure as a flaw and start seeing it as a forge, something shifts inside you. You stop overthinking every risk because you're no longer afraid of the fall. You welcome it. You learn to walk with scraped knees and a stronger soul. And slowly, the need for perfection fades. Because you realize, it was never about never falling. It was about rising, every single time. In the end, overthinking is a distraction. It's the mind's way of avoiding life because life is messy. Life is uncertain. It's not perfect. And that's exactly how it was meant to be. The Stoics didn't seek a life without flaws. They sought a life of meaning, regardless of the chaos. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to act. You don't need to have every answer before taking the first step. You don't need to control everything or everyone. You need to show up, be present, and live with purpose. The moment you stop trying to figure everything out and simply start living, you'll realize something incredible. The peace you've been seeking isn't somewhere out there. It's in you. The Stoic life doesn't promise comfort or guarantees, but it does promise freedom. The freedom to act, to embrace the unknown, and to be at peace with whatever comes your way. And that is the key to stopping overthinking and truly starting to live.